promise you it'll be outstanding. Courtney was going to speak to us for a few minutes.
Thank you. Good morning. The last remaining moments of the morning. Thank you for the opportunity to be here and share with all of you. I'm Courtney Harrison. I'm Public Strategies Director of Policy and Program Development. I also work with the National Healthy Marriage Resource Center. You've had great information this morning about what's happening in the state of marriage, what's happening in the state of Kansas, both opportunities and challenges that are facing all of us each and every day in our professional roles, in our personal lives, and how to begin to think about effectively making a change. Good news is that the National Healthy Marriage Resource Center is here to help with these challenges. We are a federally funded cooperative agreement run in partnership with the Federal Office of Family Assistance. Through that, we have been charged with the mission to really become a one-stop shop for all things related to healthy marriage. We have links to many of the research that you've heard about this morning. Bill Coffin has been feeding us information far and wide from across the country since we have begun. We have information on the various programs and curricula that you've heard about, as well as the research backing it and some tools to provide information for those on the front line of how to reach out to families. Something that we've learned is very important, both here with the experience of the programming in Kansas as well as from across the country, is that while there is substantial research and absolutely fantastic programming out there, the messenger matters, and the way in which they facilitate the conversation and engage the people, be them young people, folks who are considering marriage, folks who are far into their marriage, what they have to say and how they say it with those folks really does make a difference. So what we have been doing is spending the last 4 to 5 years traveling around the country, observing programs, interfacing with practitioners in a variety of disciplines, attending research conferences, and really trying to pull together in one place what is being learned. This isn't a new field, and as we got a history lesson this morning, but what is new is putting this on the public agenda, thinking about government's role, thinking about how relationship education and marriage education services can be integrated in a variety of systems. We've been talking with folks in justice, in labor, in education, throughout human services, in the disciplines such as psychology and sociology and economics. There's a wide range of fields and disciplines which are really coming together to talk and think about not only what does marriage mean, but what can we do to teach healthy relationship education skills. So part of our role is we're a virtual entity. The Resource Center lives on a website, healthymarriageinfo.org, but we're also a network of people. And what we want to do is be able to take your questions and help get you connected to the right answer if we don't know the answer right offhand. But we've also been developing hundreds of original resources based on questions that we've seen arise in the field that many people are asking, and trying to truly disseminate to the field at large, as diverse as it may be, what we're learning about what works within the fields of marriage and relationship education. We attend conferences, we have exhibits, we give presentations, we develop technical assistance tools, both in terms of bringing folks together to talk about the challenges that they're encountering related to recruiting people for services, to retaining people in that programming, to following up, to evaluating, to measuring outcomes. And this information is housed within a library and a clearinghouse on our site. We've also funded some very small research studies, but trying to culminate from across these different projects, we've engaged Professor Alan Hawkins at BYU in doing a meta-analysis of multiple grantees from across the country in looking at what works. We've also engaged Professor Paul Amato at Penn, and he's now looking for us at the Building Strong Families data set that you heard Bill Coffin mention earlier that looked at unwed expectant couples, and particularly what some findings were around relationships among African American couples that participated in that study. In addition, in 2008, we contracted with True, which is a Chicago-based research firm. They focus on teens, tweens, and 20-somethings. We had them look at the needs and desires of young people around their relationships, and that created for us the basis for what we consider a fulfillment site for an 18 to 30-year-old population, which is twoofus.org. The Healthy Marriage Info site is really targeted to practitioners, the field, those interested in delivering workshops, managing workshops, developing coalitions, overseeing programming. Two of Us is really targeted to couples and individuals. We originally envisioned a site that was going to be all things to all people, and unfortunately just the language and the needs of the different populations varied so greatly that following the research that True did for us, we created a separate site, twoofus.org, and for any of those of you engaging with young adults, I'd certainly encourage you to pass that site along as a resource for them and a place where research and evidence-informed information is being distilled to a very practical and useful level in terms of articles and Q&A and podcasts and videos and things of that nature. This is a quick snapshot of the healthymarriageinfo.org site. We both disseminate materials that we're creating for the field, but also those that are being created by others. So as new papers are coming out, conference reports, even news articles and stories as they relate to the strength of relationships and families in the country are being disseminated, as well as the materials that we're creating. The What's New in the Field portion of our page covers the variety of topics I've been talking about. Something I just wanted to point out, under national and local events, we certainly encourage you to let us know what you're doing in your communities and in your state, and we're happy to help publicize that information and spread the word. Similarly, with the resources that we have, we're always trying to reach out and look for what is being created and being learned, and we encourage you to submit things that you would like that maybe you've used in a workshop, be it a fidelity checklist for your curriculum that you're using, or tips and tools that you're using for talking points on particularly challenging subjects. We are looking to gather that and help increase its usefulness. As I've mentioned, we do a lot of original product development. We've created over 200 original products in the last couple of years. One that I wanted to highlight that isn't on this list are called collections by topic, and that's something we've just started doing over the last couple of years. We have 9 of them. They cover topics ranging from financial stress in couples to working with military families to working with youth, to engaging TANF and child support and tax policy, which is always a hot topic for most people. So we're excited to have those collections where we've really pulled together the research, the practical tools, all into one place to give a brief snapshot of some key points within those issue areas. This is just a quick overview of what some of these look like on our site. We do host webinars on a fairly regular basis. We've done 29 of them thus far. These are topics where online, in an online forum, we're bringing together key speakers and experts in particular issue areas, and then we post both their presentations as well as the audio from those webinars for people to access later. I also, in the bottom left, for you all looking at this, the toolkits. We have 2 amazing toolkits that are currently online. The first is a Facilitator Toolkit, and that allows you to tell us what size of a group you're working with, the age of the group, kind of what you're needing tools for, but it contains icebreakers, group cohesion activities, and tips for facilitators. So in thinking about the lesson learned around the fact that the messenger matters and the techniques that they're using in workshops, we brought 2 leading women who have been running a Smart Marriages session on facilitation skills. They came and worked with us and developed the tools that are in this toolkit to make sure that we were getting the best and brightest minds who are thinking about this every day to help develop what's in there. We also just recently created an evaluation toolkit that provides some tips and topics in working with evaluators in looking at what's working in your relationship education program. We're also in the process of developing tools for those community-based providers working with the National Guard, as well as those working with young people in their communities. I mentioned the twoofus.org site earlier. This is that screenshot. You can see it's a much more user-friendly to the end user, being couples and individuals out in the community site. This is very interactive. It certainly hits on a lot more pop culture things than our professional site, healthymarriageinfo.org. We do also utilize experts here. You can actually enter into forums and have conversations with some of the researchers that we've heard about throughout the day today. Do interactive polls. Really use a lot of what's happening in the media and through pop culture to stimulate and be a springboard for talking about important topics for young adults. And the content on this particular site is actually sorted by relationship status. So wherever people are in the lifespan and the relationship span, we have information for them. Currently, we're in the process of revising the healthymarriageinfo.org website. It will be launched later this summer, and I just wanted to provide a quick sneak peek of what it's going to look like in August. The same great information will be there, but we've been doing some usability testing with folks from the policy community, the field of practice, the evaluation community, and really making sure that the information and the way in which we're engaging with our audiences is meeting their needs. I have a variety of samples of the products that we do, as well as some water bottles, which are perfect on a hot week like this, out at our booth in the hallway. And if you have any questions, I certainly encourage you to stop by. You can always feel free to contact us through the website. There is a general email for the National Healthy Marriage Resource Center, which is info@healthymarriageinfo.org, and we will do our best to help you make Kansas the best place that you can for strong, healthy families and marriages. Thank you.